After looking at some inspiration from Pinterest and online sources, I started using SketchUp to model my first design. After designing the cabin on SketchUp, I then used Fusion 360 to model the cabin with precise measurements for 3D printing. Take a look at all the individual components I modeled. These are to be 3D printed individually and not as one whole pieces. I did it because I could reduce printing time significantly by not having to use a lot of filaments. I love Orca Slicer for 3D printing because it lets me slice multiple build plates at once with different components. Near where I live, they have a makerspace called STEM Open Lab, so I went there to get my 3D parts printed out with the FDM 3D printers. I used white PLA filament to print these parts so that I could paint them later. These are called tree supports because their shapes are like trees with branches that support the print where there are overhangs. They are much faster to print and waste less filament. I test fit these parts and they all fit perfectly. Let's paint them. Since they are 3D printed with 0.14mm layer height, I sanded and applied 2 to 3 coats of white primer to make sure the surface is smooth and ready to be painted with colors. Since this is my first time painting 3D printed parts, I used a brush to apply acrylic paint. I had some troubles painting these initial parts because the paints don't stick to the surface very well. Later on, I figured out that I need to apply 2 to 3 layers of paint for the colors to really cover up the original white. I tried to mimic the pine wood color, but the mixture was not what I expected. But whatever, let's do better next time. I find that spray painting is much easier and faster than brush painting. It adheres to the surface way better. But due to lack of color varieties, I have to stick with brush painting. Applying the second coat of paint onto the model just makes it look way better. This is my first time painting something with a brush, so excuse me for being a newbie. Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for improvement. Okay, time to assemble. Starting off, I'm using acrylic glue to attach the 4 cornerstone to the platform. To attach the roof, I didn't even need to use acrylic glue because it snuck in perfectly. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you all next time.